Lord God, Father of all goodness and glory, we approach before you this moment, our hearts overflowing with hope and a profound yearning for your intervention in our professional lives. We acknowledge you as the source of all strength, wisdom, and opportunity, and it is with this unshakable faith that we seek, in your divine presence, the answers and direction for the challenges we face in our careers. We know that, in your infinite mercy, you have a perfect plan for each of us, and it is in this plan that we wish to align ourselves, seeking not merely material success, but the fulfillment of purpose and spiritual growth on our professional journey. Too often we feel the doors of our careers closing before us. There are seasons when we seem stagnant, unable to advance or find new paths that align with our talents and aspirations. Uncertainty hangs heavy in the air, and the sense of powerlessness can become overwhelming. Bills need to be paid, family responsibilities demand provision, and the desire to contribute meaningfully to the world around us drives us to seek new possibilities. We see others prosper, their careers flourishing, and we wonder when it will be our turn, when the Lord will open the doors that appear locked to us. This pursuit of advancement is not merely personal ambition, but often a calling to fulfill the purpose the Lord has entrusted to us, to serve our community, and to glorify His name through our work. At this time, Father, we do not ask for an easy path, but rather for a path blessed by you. We ask for discernment to recognize the opportunities you place in our way, even if they present themselves in unexpected or less conventional forms. We ask for courage to take the necessary steps, to step out of our comfort zones, and to face challenges with faith, knowing that your mighty hand will guide us. May your wisdom illuminate our minds, so that we may make sound decisions, choosing the paths that best align with your will, and that promote our holistic growth, both professionally and personally. This is not a generic request for prosperity, Lord. It is a specific plea for you to remove from our path the unseen obstacles that hinder our progress. These are the barriers of doubt, fear, self-sabotage, and circumstances beyond our control. It is the lack of opportunities that seem to arise, the selection processes where we are overlooked, the projects that do not materialize as planned. We know that, in your sovereignty, all things work for the good of those who love you, and it is this truth that sustains us. We seek your direct intervention to remove these barriers and open before us clear and promising paths, where we may use the gifts and talents you have bestowed upon us to honor you. Above all else, we desire our careers to be a reflection of your love and your goodness. May we, through our work, be instruments of blessing to others, positively impacting our families, our communities, and the world. May our professional success be a testament to your power and your faithfulness, drawing others to faith in you. We thank you for hearing us and for answering our prayers, trusting that, in your infinite mercy, you will open the doors that no one can shut, and shut the doors that no one can open. With grateful hearts full of hope, we entrust this journey to you, guided by your light and sustained by your constant presence. Lord, at this moment, we lift our thoughts to the need for clarity in our vision of purpose. Too often, we seek only material advancement, a higher position, or a salary increase, without first probing the divine intention behind our calling. It is essential, Father, that we discern not only where we want to go, but why you direct us to this or that professional path. At this stage of our plea, we beg for a refinement in our perception of our calling. May we not be content with merely occupying a space in the job market, but may we perceive the mission your hand has entrusted to us, the specific impact you desire us to make. Just as a craftsman shapes clay with purpose and intention, we wish for your will to shape our trajectories, imbuing them with meaning and relevance. Consider, for example, the situation of a professional who ascends to a leadership position. Without clarity of purpose, this position can become a mere stage for personal vanity or for the relentless pursuit of more power. Conversely, when the vision of purpose is aligned with your plan, this same position transforms into a powerful channel for positively influencing teams, fostering an ethical work environment, and contributing to collective well-being, thereby reflecting your justice and your love. Furthermore, it is fundamental to recognize that the door you open may not be the one we previously envisioned. It might be an invitation to a new sector, an unexpected career reorientation, or even a period of learning in a seemingly less glamorous context. However, when purpose is clear in our hearts, we are capable of discerning divine opportunity, even amidst apparent normality or difficulty. It is imperative, therefore, that we cultivate an attitude of receptivity and submission to your guidance. May our spiritual ears be attentive to the whispers of your Spirit, which guide us beyond our own expectations. Moreover, the pursuit of purpose is not an isolated act, but a continuous process of discovery and deepening. Therefore, we cry out, Lord, for a wisdom that transcends technical knowledge and professional skill. We ask for spiritual discernment that enables us to identify the areas where your kingdom can be built through our work. May we see not only the tasks to be accomplished, but the lives to be touched, the seeds of hope to be sown, and the opportunities for service to be embraced, all in accordance with your sovereign will. May your light dispel the shadows of uncertainty, clearly revealing the purpose that resides in each step of our professional journey, thereby empowering us to advance with confidence and direction. In the interim, the emphasis shifts to resilience and perseverance, virtues essential when professional doors seem recalcitrant to open or remain closed for extended periods. Human nature, at times, leads us to frustration and discouragement in the face of persistent obstacles, causing us to question our aptitude or divine justice itself. However, the biblical perspective teaches us that these moments of waiting and apparent stagnation are, in reality, forges where we temper character, refine faith, and develop an inner strength that defies external circumstances. A palpable example of this can be observed in the trajectory of an entrepreneur who, after multiple failures in their initial ventures, decides not to give up, but rather to learn from each mistake, refine their strategy, and persist in the pursuit of their vision. This resilience is not mere obstinacy, but a profound trust in the process and in God's ability to transform adversities into opportunities for growth. Each unsuccessful attempt, rather than being viewed as an endpoint, becomes an upward step, valuable learning that hones the next endeavor. Furthermore, the importance of cultivating professional and spiritual relationships during this period cannot be understated. Frequently, the connections we forge with other individuals, both within and outside the workplace, become unexpected channels for new opportunities. A trusted colleague, an experienced mentor, or even a member of our faith community can offer crucial advice, a valuable referral, or a renewed perspective that opens a new avenue. In this regard, imagine a professional who, feeling stalled in their current career, decides to invest time in networking and mentorship activities. By sharing their aspirations and challenges with others, they expose themselves to new ideas and connections that would otherwise remain inaccessible. This proactivity, sustained by faith in divine providence, is an active component in opening doors. Another fundamental aspect to consider is the imperative of adaptation and flexibility. The world of work is in perpetual flux, and the skills valued today may well become obsolete tomorrow. Consequently, a willingness to acquire new knowledge, refine existing competencies, and even reevaluate our career trajectories in light of emerging realities is crucial. Consider a professional in a traditional field who perceives the burgeoning demand for digital skills. Rather than resisting this shift, they resolve to pursue courses, certifications, and practical experiences that will equip them for the evolving market requirements. This adaptability demonstrates not only acuity and foresight, but also a profound trust in God's capacity to furnish us for the challenges He presents. Therefore, it is essential to maintain an attitude of gratitude, even amidst adversity. Acknowledging the blessings already received, however seemingly minor, cultivates faith and fortifies us to press onward. Gratitude prevents us from succumbing to the pitfalls of complaint and resentment, enabling us to perceive the broader picture and trust that God is working in all circumstances for our ultimate good. In this context, it is vital that prayer transcends mere supplication and becomes an act of surrender and reliance. Entrusting our careers into God's hands, with the certainty that He holds the best for us, forms the bedrock upon which we build our perseverance. It is an acknowledgement that, while we diligently seek opportunities and enhance our capabilities, the ultimate opening of doors resides in His sovereign will. In the interim, let us turn our attention to the dimensions of practical wisdom and strategic discernment as crucial celestial ingredients for the unlocking of professional opportunities. It is insufficient merely to cry out for openings. One must also be prepared to recognize them and to capitalize on them effectively when they arise. At times, doors remain shut due to a lack of preparedness or a limited perception of what truly constitutes a divine opportunity. For instance, consider a professional aspiring to a position in a highly competitive arena. Mere faith, devoid of investment in the continuous enhancement of their skills, may prove inadequate. Divine wisdom impels us to seek relevant knowledge, cultivate competencies that the market values, and comprehend the nuances of the sector in which we wish to operate. It is akin to a farmer who, in addition to praying for rain, prepares the soil, selects the finest seeds, and tends to the crop diligently. Furthermore, the capacity for critical analysis and strategic planning is a gift the Lord bestows upon us to navigate the intricate professional landscape. We must discern the opportune moment to present a proposal, request advancement, or pivot our direction. This prudence does not negate faith, but rather complements it, ensuring our actions are aligned with the wisdom granted to us. Consider the situation of a professional who receives multiple job offers simultaneously. The choices we make at this juncture can have significant long-term implications. Practical wisdom assists us in weighing not only the remuneration package, but also the organizational culture, growth prospects, alignment with our values, and crucially, the potential to fulfill God's purpose for us in that specific phase. Moreover, humility in acknowledging our limitations and a willingness to learn from those with greater experience are cornerstones of professional wisdom. At times, arrogance or excessive self-assurance can blind us to valuable counsel and alternative paths that others, through their own journeys, can illuminate. Imagine a professional who, rather than attempting to reinvent the wheel, seeks mentorship and guidance from respected leaders in their field. This attitude of continuous learning, of absorbing the experiences of others, does not diminish their individuality, but enriches it, opening avenues to insights and strategies they might not have attained alone. It is equally vital to cultivate effective communication skills. The manner in which we articulate our ideas, present our qualifications, and negotiate our terms can be a decisive factor in opening or closing doors. Prayer for clarity in communication, for eloquence and genuine persuasion, particularly when these qualities serve a higher purpose, is fundamental. Finally, the ability to read between the lines of situations, to perceive power dynamics, the hidden needs of employers, or the true nature of a project, is a facet of the wisdom the Lord bestows upon us. This insight empowers us to anticipate challenges, identify risks, and capitalize on opportunities that remain invisible to the less observant. Thus, with a contrite heart and a prepared mind, we walk towards the doors God has reserved for us, confident that divine wisdom and strategy will guide us every step of the way. Perseverance, therefore, manifests not only in adhering to a single path, but also in the capacity to recalibrate one's course and adapt to the new directions that professional life presents. Excessive rigidity, however strong the initial conviction, can become an insurmountable obstacle as the landscape shifts or new information emerges. Consider, for instance, a traditional marketer who, recognizing the migration of consumption to the digital sphere, eschews outdated print advertising practices to invest heavily in content marketing, social media, and SEO courses. This flexibility, this readiness to learn and implement novel tools, is a tangible expression of perseverance that molds itself to present-day demands, thereby unlocking avenues for new endeavors and relevance. Furthermore, genuine faith in God impels us to action, to take the necessary steps, even when the path ahead is obscured. Passivity, fueled by the belief that the Lord will provide without our active participation, rarely leads to the opening of new opportunities. It is therefore imperative that prayer be coupled with intentional and strategic action. Let us consider the case of someone who, following an unexpected redundancy, dedicates themselves to updating their CV, refining their portfolio, and contacting their network with a clear objective. This initiative, even amidst uncertainty, demonstrates to the Lord and to the world our willingness to be instruments in His hands, ready to tread the paths He indicates. Conversely, it is crucial to distinguish spiritual perseverance from blind obstinacy. True perseverance in Christ is characterized by an unwavering commitment to one's goals, coupled with an open heart to divine correction and redirection. If a particular professional path, despite consistent effort and extensive prayer, continues to present insuperable barriers and a persistent sense of misalignment with a greater purpose, it may signal that the Lord is calling us to explore alternatives. Learning to heed this subtle voice, to decipher the signs He sends through circumstances and individuals, is a hallmark of spiritual maturity and professional acumen. Imagine, for example, a professional who ardently seeks a promotion within their current company, but despite all their efforts and qualifications, the opportunity perpetually eludes them. Concurrently, an invitation to a challenging project at another organization, with a completely different scope, presents itself. Christian perseverance, in this context, would not entail stubbornly clinging to the desired promotion, but rather discerning whether the new invitation might, in fact, be the door God had prepared for their growth and the manifestation of His plans. Furthermore, the significance of contentment throughout all career phases cannot be overlooked. The incessant pursuit of more, of new, without first valuing and extracting lessons from what one already possesses, can trap us in a cycle of dissatisfaction. Contentment, in its Christian essence, is not inertia, but rather a profound gratitude for what one has, coupled with the confidence that, if it be the Father's will, new and better opportunities will emerge. This gratitude cultivates a resilient spirit, capable of facing challenges with serenity and recognizing blessings, even amidst trials. Therefore, perseverance, when grounded in faith and divine wisdom, empowers us to navigate the turbulent waters of professional life, transforming obstacles into stepping stones and uncertainties into opportunities for growth and glorification of the Lord's name. It is a legacy of strength and trust that fosters an unwavering character in the face of adversity, preparing us for the new doors that He will assuredly open in His perfect timing. In parallel to resilient perseverance, a new field to be honored is that of cultivating generosity and altruistic service within the professional sphere. Often, our quest for new opportunities can lead us to an excessive focus on ourselves, our needs, and our aspirations. However, the Scriptures teach us that there is an intrinsic power in the act of giving, of offering our gifts and talents for the benefit of others. This practice, far from depleting us, paradoxically fills us and frequently opens unexpected pathways. Now, consider how this manifests in practice. A professional who, no matter how challenging their own pursuit of a new job or promotion may be, dedicates themselves to mentoring less experienced colleagues or volunteering their skills on community projects that directly benefit individuals in vulnerable situations. This kind of genuine generosity does not aim solely for immediate returns, but springs from a grateful heart and an understanding that our deepest service is that which transcends self-interest. Frequently, the positive impact generated by this attitude reflects back, attracting to us the doors the Lord desires to open, often through relationships built on this foundation of selfless service. Moreover, the wisdom in recognizing and embracing moments of transition as gateways for growth deserves particular attention. Some professional doors do not close permanently but transform, demanding from us an adaptability and a discerning eye for what the new configuration offers. Instead of lamenting the loss of a former status or mode of work, we can, with divine guidance, discern the new lessons, new connections, and new purposes that emerge from these changes. Imagine, for instance, a professional who, after years in a specific role, is reassigned to a department with entirely new and challenging responsibilities. The initial reaction might be one of resistance or frustration, but a perspective of faith teaches us to view this reassignment not as a setback, but as an invitation to broaden our horizons, acquire new competencies, and perhaps discover a latent talent we never knew we possessed. This capacity to see transition as an opportunity, rather than an impediment, is fundamental for the doors that the Lord prepares to be fully revealed. Another relevant aspect is the encouragement of strategic and focused prayer on divine gifts and purposes. Prayer should not be generic, but an intimate dialogue where we ask for clarity on the specific gifts the Lord has bestowed upon us and how these can best be applied to fulfill His designs in our careers. By focusing our pleas on the activation of these gifts and identifying how they fit into the divine plan, we are, in fact, directing our faith towards the opportunities that have been predestined for us. Consider, for example, someone who feels a strong calling to use their communication skills in a specific ministry, or to lead teams with a focus on human development. By praying with this clarity, directing our petitions for the gifts of oratory and leadership to be used in a way that positively impacts the workplace environment and the people around us, we are aligning ourselves with the Father's sovereign will, which desires us to use our talents for His glory. This type of prayer is not mere formality, but an act of surrender and trust in the Lord's ability to build us up and guide us to positions where we will be most fruitful. As we revisit the paths we have explored thus far, we perceive a remarkable convergence between the various facets of the pursuit of professional progress. The journey, far from being linear, reveals itself as a complex interweaving of personal initiative, spiritual discernment, and a profound trust in divine sovereignty. We observe how clarity of purpose acts as a compass, guiding actions even when the seas of uncertainty deepen, and how resilience becomes not merely a desirable characteristic, but a spiritual bedrock that sustains us in the face of contrary winds. Wisdom, in turn, emerges as a vital link, enabling us to interpret the signs along the way, adapt our plans, and recognize opportunities that often disguise themselves under the guise of unexpected challenges. Reflecting on this journey leads us to a deeper understanding that the opening of significant doors in our careers is a multifaceted process, demanding the harmonious integration of our human capabilities with God's guidance and transformative power. At this confluence of elements, the notion that the pursuit of advancement is not an isolated act of effort, but a subtle dance between our will and the celestial plan, becomes palpable. Generosity, when practiced amidst our own needs, reveals a potent paradox. The act of giving, of serving with detachment, paves pathways of abundance and opens fissures through which divine light can penetrate, illuminating new possibilities. Transitions, which at first glance may seem like endings, gain a new contour when viewed through the lens of faith, transforming into veritable portals for learning and the expansion of our gifts. As we navigate these waters, the importance of constant dialogue with the Creator, articulating with precision our yearnings and the gifts He has bestowed upon us, stands out as a beacon, directing our energy and hope towards the outcomes He has prepared. This convergence of actions and intentions, when aligned with divine will, prepares the ground for what once seemed blocked to become an invitation to a new professional horizon, where our contribution becomes more significant and aligned with the purpose entrusted to us. As we consider these points, the path to a revealing conclusion unfolds, promising a closure that honors the journey undertaken and anticipates the fullness of God's plan for our professional lives.